hello, this is me, the Cincy Boy 02, MLP'd. This is me if I was on MLP. You're gonna be seeing me like this in my new series Brony Review, coming soon. Coming next week. Hello guys, it's me, the Cincy Boy 02, in Brony Review form. And sorry if I haven't been making any videos the past week. It was because I was on vacation in Red River Gorge and the Natural Bridge in Slade, Kentucky. You should go there. It's really, really cool. Yeah. Anyways, enough of that. I'm going to talk to you more information about Brony Review, an upcoming series from me. In Brony Review, I will be teaming up with some of the main ponies and my trusty Pegasus sidekick. That's Green, and I will be showing to you that, and will be coming later in the series. And I'm just here to show you the oncoming slot, or the first 4 episodes of this new show. First, I will be reviewing Phineas and Ferb the movie, Across the Second Dimension. And then next, I will be reviewing one of Pixar's 2015 movies, Inside Out. And then, The Good Dinosaur. And then the next one will be Zootopia. And I will be giving a list later of some upcoming ones. And we'll be doing some guests. Like, for the Phineas and Ferb review, I'm going to have my faithful student. No, not my faithful student, but Twilight Sparkle. And when I do Inside Out and Zootopia, I'll have my faithful party planner, Pinkie Pie. So, that was just a quick onslaught and update on my upcoming series Brony Review, coming this week on the Cincy Boy 02 channel.
My little pony, my little pony.
Hello guys, this is me, Brony Review, and in our first episode ever, we'll be taking a look at Phineas and Ferb, the movie, Across the Second Dimension. In this film, Phineas and Ferb accidentally help Dr. D open another dimension and causes big havoc and causes a bunch of mayhem to other dimensions. And so it's up to Phineas, Ferb, and their pet platypus Perry, who secret was identified to the whole family in this film, will stop on nothing to save the dimensions. And so, what do I think of this movie? It is actually a pretty good film. Catchy tunes, great action, fun characters, and a bunch of good jokes. The only negative is its runtime, 77 minutes. At least it's better than the 72-minute Equestria Girls films. So Phineas and Ferb is a fun summer movie that is definitely worth a watch. Where do we begin, as Phineas says? So on this film gets 4 out of 5 stars on the Brony Review chart. And hope you tune in to see our upcoming review of Inside Out and The Good Dinosaur. They'll both be separate, so hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.
I used to wonder what friendship could be. My little pony, my little pony.
Welcome to another episode of Brony Review. And in this film, we'll be reviewing Disney and Pixar's Inside Out. In this Inside Out, Joy and sadness, one of Riley's 5 emotions, are kicked out of headquarters and are suddenly on an epic journey through Riley's mind. And this is Pixar's big return to original films. After their sequel break with Cars 2, Toy Story 3, Monsters University. But Toy Story 3 was actually pretty good. Inside Out has a bunch of fun characters, a good story, fun imaginative ideas, and it's really creative. And it features a bunch of sad, heartbreaking moments. So, what do I think? Inside Out is the greatest Pixar masterpiece ever. It's one of the top 5 Pixar films. So, on the Brony review chart, Inside Out gets 5 stars. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next episode.
I used to wonder what friendship could be.
Nice. Sit. Stay. Roll over. Good boy. I'm going. Oh yeah. Yep. Today we'll be reviewing The Secret Life of Pets, Illumination's 5th movie. This film stars a bunch of comedians and is all about pets. So here's the plot. And don't worry, this review won't contain any spoilers. It's about a dog named Max who is treated with royalty by her owner. And his life gets turned upside down when a new dog comes in his apartment named Duke. And after a little mishap, they're suddenly out of their comfort zones in New York City, and they will go on a quest to come back home. And I'm sensing a little deja vu. And I think that movie is... I find the premise similar to Toy Story. Yeah. Now let's check the similarities. An object who likes his owner and has a couple of friends, and his life gets turned upside down by some new cooler person that has took it out of their comfort zones and must return home. And even their friends are looking for them. So let's see, that's 6 similarities from The Secret Life of Pets to Toy Story. So, is it kind of the exact same thing as Toy Story? Well, not really, because this movie has a bunch of great humor. And I recommend you see it in 3D because the 3D in it is amazing. In some scenes, I won't spoil any of the scenes, the 3D is good in it. It looks like it's jumping, actually coming at you. There are scenes in the movie that'll be like, yeah! Oh boy, it's in 3D! That's how good the 3D is. The jokes are pretty funny too. There are some pretty good laugh out loud moments in there. And before the movie, you can watch this short called Mower Minions, starring the Minions. In the minions mow a retirement home's lawn to buy a banana blender. And that's the premise. And this short is pretty, like, Looney Tune-ish, with some funny slapstick and humor. And so, I kind of find the short pretty good. And the movie, it has some great cast, funny stuff, great visuals, and absolutely amazing 3D. And so, here's a new thing we'll be doing. It's called a scorecard, where we'll be rating our movies from 1 to 10. Alright, so here's the scorecard. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, Secret Life of Pets gets a solid 10. Well, I hope you enjoyed this spoiler-free review of The Secret Life of Pets. Stay tuned for a review of Tom and Jerry the movie. And have a lovely day. I'm back. So, were you a good dog? Ruff. Now that's good. Right, see you tomorrow. Do you ever wonder if you think there are too much Ice Age sequels? First we had the original Ice Age, then we get a meltdown, and then a discovery of dinosaurs, and most recently, a continental drift. And they weren't really successful with critics. The first movie was so praised for its act, but the sequels were kind of hit and miss, as the critics said. And so when they said that they'll be making a fifth one called Collision Course, I think everyone were going a bit too crazy. In fact, people think the franchise has gone so downhill, like so downhill. I'll show you a clip that represents what I mean. And that's how the animation committee thought was going downhill. So, if you're wondering about the fifth movie, Collision Course, you know what I did on July 22nd? Did I go see? What movie did I see? I saw, you probably know, it's Ice Age Collision Course. And look what the tomato meter got it. Yeah, it's that bad. 12%. And that's even worse than the sequels that followed. Here, check for yourself. The fifth one outnumbered the sequels by 12% to 77. And now let's just talk about Collision Course. You know when I found out about the Ice Age Collision Course? It's the exact same movie. I had too close of a close-up. 3. Anyways, it's the exact same concept that all the other movies have. Scrat's squirrel antics, and he's trying to bury his acorn and causes some serious antics to the characters. And they do it differently. In number 1, his antics does not cause anything. In the sequel, it causes a huge portion of the meltdown. In the third one, he has a love interest and his antics cause him into a dinosaur world. In the fourth one, he is trying to bury his nut, but causes the continental divide. And this is so historically inaccurate. And the fifth movie, Scrat causes a big bang. Yep, the Big Bang. And this also causes an asteroid to destroy the characters, but accidentally stop it. So, what are my overall thoughts on this movie? Well, yeah, it's just your average Ice Age sequel. It's kind of okay. But I don't think it really deserves 12%, because the animation is beautiful. I mean, just look at this image. Yeah, that's how cool the animation looks. And yeah, the story is kind of a mixed bag of okays and mess, and the characters are kind of not so three-dimensional characters, but they're not so flat they're one-dimensional. Some of the new characters pretty good, but the only new character that tops the cake is Sid's new love interest, played by Jessie J. Since it's Jessie J, she sounds pretty nice. It has the British tone of her, but I have never heard Jessie J until this movie. I've heard her name, but haven't heard her voice until this movie. And she also sings this song that I don't remember what it's called. I think it's Superstar, but I don't know. But there's also a narration. Wow. Now that counts as a ding. But also, the narration is by Neil deGrasse by Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't know how to pronounce his middle name, but he is the narrator of the movie. So, Ice Age Collision Course is 3D. It's not as 3D gimmicky as The Secret Life of Pets, and by the way, my Facebook friends are really tweeting this, and the pet domination is spreading. It's girl. And I'm gonna find my home. You coming, Max? Yes. Dog. Yeah, I was in the first review. I knew this thing. Oh, that has to hurt. Oh. Yeah, it's not as 3D as The Secret Life of Pets, but there are not really enough moments where it's like, it's coming right at you. You're too close to the camera. Sorry, I'm new to this. Okay, anyways, here's the only spoiler I give into this movie. A ridiculous thing in this movie is that Buck treats a pumpkin like its son. Treating a pumpkin like it's its son? I think I can safely say that they kind of act brainless on that one. Imagine if I have an inanimate object as a friend. Here, like, let me show you an example of what I mean. Sweet ripe juicy tomato, I'm reviewing this movie for you, 'cause you're my favorite boy. Oh yes you are, oh yes you are. Yeah, it's kind of weird that he treats food like his own son. I think if he has a pizza, then I think he would play with his food and call it his daughter. Yeah. But Ice Age Collision Course overall, it's kind of a mixed bag. Some parts are good, some parts are meh, but the overall movie is just an okay. I can at least call it entertaining, but not 12% entertaining. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, Collision Course gets 6. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for my upcoming review of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid trilogy, and I'll see you next time! Hello everyone, it's Brony Review, and this time, I'm gonna get a change. Yeah, I know there's only been 5 episodes and stuff changes after a season of it, but this time, I'm gonna be changing quickly. That you'll be seeing me in a whole new way. I'll be looking more realistic. It's kind of weird seeing someone without a mane or a tail. A maneless and ponyless tail. So, what I'm gonna do, hold on, I'm gonna change myself. Ready? See? Now I'm in my new form. See? I now have a full mane and a tail. This is my new form from now on. Hope you like it. And stay tuned for an upcoming review. And I'll see you next time. Hello, it's Brony Review, and in this episode, I'm talking about the number 14. And you're wondering, why am I talking about the 14 instead of a movie? I'm talking about a movie 14. The 14 being The Land Before Time, Journey of the Brave. The 14th entry. Probably Universal has finally decided to stop their hiatus they were on a long hiatus after the big disappointment, which was The Wisdom of Friends. So, how were they gonna do the 14th one about being an apology movie? So, I wonder how they do that. Let's think about it. So, how are we gonna make this movie to please the fans after we disappointed them with number 13? Oh, I have a brilliant idea. Let me whisper it to you. Let's give it a shot. I like it. Come on. Yeah, it sounded like a good idea. And they kept it secret, I think. It would be a surprise. Until Universal said that they'll be releasing it with the 1440 collection. It's Universal's direct-to-video unit. They made some other stuff like bringing back Beethoven and Curious George direct-to-video movies. They're trying to bring direct-to-video movies back to life. Can't you believe that? So, what's the Land Before Time Journey of the Brave about? Well, let me explain it to you. It's all about Littlefoot trying to find his dad. And that sounds really nice. And how did this movie turn out? Was it a pure disappointment like the 13th? Or did it brighten up this time? Let's figure it out. So, the movie opens up with the Universal logo as usual, with the frame from the previous logo. Really? Universal? You couldn't have used your old theme? So then, we have the usual narration stuff and blah blah blah. So then, they sing a song about what they're gonna do today. Littlefoot sings that he's gonna meet his dad, Ducky and Spike. Well, Spike doesn't usually talk, but they sing about how they're gonna meet their new brothers. Then Petrie's excited about spring, and Sarah, this kind of sounds useless, pushing a rock. Huh? Well, that's awkward. But everything changes when Littlefoot meets up with the Long Necks and some creature named Wild Eyes tells him about the horrible accident that happened, and Littlefoot is surprised. So what he does, he and his friends unite together and go on an epic adventure. We have the usual Land Before Time cliches too, like where you have songs, perilous activity, and meets a new character. And the one they meet is Etta, who's Reba McEntire, and let me tell you, she's the best new character in the movie, hands down. She also sings a song called Look for the Light, which is also the best song in the movie. It's so good. And feels like Universal has decided to forgive them and put out this movie. And I was certainly pleased by it. I like the animation and some of the new actors, like they got Felix to play Littlefoot and some other kids, but the other actors who play Sarah, Ducky, Petrie, and Spike, they're all back. And some stuff has changed too, like they recast the grandpa and the narrator. And here's one of the negatives. Some of the songs can be a little bit annoying, like the Sarah part of today is the day, and hot and stinky. But all the other songs are alright. But as I said, the best song is Look Further Light. It's a pure masterpiece in Land Before Time sequel standards. And so, Land Before Time, Journey of the Brave, the best Land Before Time sequel yet. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, this movie gets 8 out of 10. Alrighty, thanks for watching, stay tuned for an upcoming review, and I'll see you next time. Hello, this is Brony Review with a double feature review. In this, I will be reviewing The Carts Before the Ponies and 9 Lives. Let's talk about The Cart Before the Ponies first. It's the recent episode that appeared. Yes. Plus, before I review this, I'd like to tell you that I already reviewed this, wanted to release it the day before or after it came out, but unfortunately it got canceled and accidentally deleted, so I'm redoing this. So, in The Carts Before the Ponies, it's about the CMC wanting to join the Applewood Derby, and their big sisters, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, and Applejack, are wanting to help, but unfortunately, the big sisters get in the way, which makes the Applewood Derby go, ooh. So, the episode was fine. It had a bunch of moments that I liked, like the song was pretty good and the writing was fine. The negative is the ending. Who wins it? That's the big question at the end. And you know who wins? No pony. It's instead a big cliffhanger. And I'm pretty sure that the next episode won't be a continuation of it. But the episodes was still pretty good. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I also thought it was better on your marks. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, this thing gets 9 out of 10. And now for the review of 9 Lives. This movie is about a man turned cat. And that's the whole premise. That's it. But here's an extra additional thing. In order to turn back to man again, he must be trained. But how was 9 Lives? It was an okay movie. The acting was pretty fine, and the directing was okay, but I wouldn't say the directing was bad, but I could still give him points for that. And if you don't know what the director is, it's Barry Sonnenfeld, the guy who directed the Men in Black trilogy. Yes, he didn't do Men in Black 4, he got a family comedy. Yes. And negatives is the premise was kind of a little bit weird, and I didn't think it was a not so good premise. And most characters can be a bit annoying. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it got 4% as of now. As I'm recording this, the film so far has a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. But later, you might see that it might got better reviews. But I wouldn't say it's a movie that deserves 4%. I think it's not. I didn't think it was really that good of a movie. It had some positives and some negatives, but everything else was just not that good. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this movie gets 5 out of 10. Guys, hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Hello, welcome to the first episode of all the movies this year. In this series, this is gonna be a little week mini-series about me talking about all the movies I've seen this year. The new ones that came out this year. And some of them will be spoiler-free. So, let's start off with the movie, which wasn't that really good. Norm of the North. It's not actually the first movie I saw in 2016, but it was actually the first movie of 2016. This involves a polar bear that goes to New York, the usual, to stop tourists from coming to their land. And this movie was pretty bad. Let's start off with the acting. Some performances are pretty meh. But I think the only good performance was from Schneider, who plays Norm. And the acting wasn't good at all, but Schneider tried to bring a level of balance to this movie. And he did an okay job, but not really. And the animation is horrible. Yes, it looks like it could have been better for a direct-to-video movie than a theatrical movie. It's pretty low quality, as you expect, but I feel like the animation is super bad. And the writing is also pretty bad as well. And it's a pretty useless film that relies heavily on pop culture and other modern stuff to make it good. I think it could have been, if it was a direct-to-video movie, it would have been fine. But being theatrically released, that's a problem. So overall, Norm of the North is a pretty bad movie that's really with some weak animation, useless story, and meh acting. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this movie gets 3 out of 10. Alrighty, hope you enjoy this, and stay tuned for the episode 2, which is a Kung Fu Panda 3 review. Or even better, I'll do it this time. Kung Fu Panda 3 was the first movie I saw in the theater in 2016. And Kung Fu Panda 3, it actually came out on the Super Bowl weekend, Woo! But the only reason I watch the Super Bowl is for commercials. Do you watch the Super Bowl for the commercials? If you do, then leave a comment below. And it better be nice. But in Kung Fu Panda 3, Po is being trained to be a Kung Fu warrior. After Shifu is about to retire, but lurking in the shadows is Kai by J.K. Simmons, who threatens the land. And so it's up to Po and Valley of Pandas to fight Kai and save Kung Fu. Like my movie voice, yeah. So, Kung Fu Panda 3, I found it way better than Norm of the North. Kung Fu Panda 3's animation is top notch. It's beautiful, and it looks like a painting coming to life. The acting is really good, especially Jack Black returning as Po. He goes to the land, and I thought the action is the best. Out of all the 3 movies, the third one has the best action. So, and the comedy works too. And if I had to choose over Norm of the North or Kung Fu Panda 3 to see in January, I'd go with Kung Fu Panda 3. So honest. Here's my overall thought. Kung Fu Panda 3 is the best one. Out of all 3 movies, Kung Fu Panda 3 is the must-see of the trilogy. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this movie gets 10 out of 10. Hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for the review of Zootopia. And have a nice day. Hello, it's Brony Review for part 2, where I review 3 cool movies: Zootopia, Jungle Book, and Civil War. Which all 4 films, they are all really good. But anyways, I'll talk about Zootopia. Zootopia is about this amazing metropolis run by animals, and a little bunny named Judy bumped into Nick, but later they discover a missing animal case, and so it's up to the 2 of them to save Zootopia from sudden disaster. And Zootopia can only be described by one word: awesome. Zootopia is the best animated movie ever this year, and you can clearly see it. The animation is so amazingly beautiful. It's like that they actually put an actual city in the computer and changed it up to make it so lifelike. The acting is also good, like Jennifer Goodwin as Judy and Jason Bateman as Nick. They all did a terrific job. And the story is just as amazing as the animation and acting. And I don't think I could ever think of a negative to describe this movie. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, Zootopia gets 10 out of 10. And now, let's talk about the Jungle Book. This is the live-action retelling of Rupert Kiplinger's The Jungle Book and the classic Walt Disney version. And I know there's already been another live action remake made in '94, made in the 90s. And the Jungle Book animated is a classic Disney with its terrific hand-drawn animation, unforgettable songs, and classic characters. I mean, there's really nothing bad about it. But I haven't seen the live-action Jungle Book from the 90s, but I heard it was pretty bad. And was pretty weird. So, when Disney decided to make a new version of the Jungle Book, they got a bunch of amazing people to work on it. So, the live-action version of Jungle Book's plot is the exact same as the animated version, except with a few alterations. It's about Mowgli, and he's hunted by Shere Khan, and he must go to the Man Village, find the red flower, and stop Shere Khan. And the live-action version is just as good as the animated one. I think Jon Favreau, who's directed this movie, knew what he was doing and tried to make it as good as the animated version. And he did that terrifically. And the acting's also really good. Well, I'm impressed by the voice acting and animation too. It's so lifelike animation that I almost felt like I am watching real snakes, tigers, and bears. And the only thing that is pure live action is Mowgli. And let me tell you, he did a terrific job. And they used the exact same songs from the original. But I think the breakout thing is Christopher Walken's performance as King Louie. I mean, I think he was the best thing that came from Jungle Book. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this movie gets 9 out of 10. So here's my review of the recent Marvel movie that started all of Phase 3, Civil War. And this is all about Captain America and Iron Man going head to head in an Avengers battle. And Civil War, I say so far, is the best movie this year. I was incredibly impressed by the acting, which was pure, solid acting. The action is so good, and the comedy is so funny, but I think the coolest part is the new characters. They got Black Panther and Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Yes, Spider-Man appears in this movie. I'm telling you, I think his performance in Civil War was 100% better than Andrew Garfield's performance in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And Amazing Spider-Man 2 is my least favorite Marvel movie ever. So, and I was impressed completely. But the best way I saw it was I saw it on the IMAX screen. And the coolest thing was the airport battle, which was entirely filmed in IMAX cameras. So, if you wanted to see it in its in a pure form, you gotta see that in IMAX, but it's too late now because it's coming out on Blu-ray next month, so it's probably too late for you anyways. But Captain America Civil War is a great way to start Phase 3. And on a scale of 1 to 10, this movie gets 10 out of 10. Well guys, hope you enjoyed this. Tomorrow, I will be reviewing the great classics, such as, no, it's not classics, but I'll be reviewing Angry Birds movie, Alice Through the Looking Glass, Finding Dory, and the BFG. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello, Brony Review again. And this time, it's going to be a review of Pete's Dragon and 28 Pranks Later. So, someone hand me Pete's Dragon. Not that Pete's Dragon. Psst! Hey! Brony Review! I got the perfect Pete's Dragon to review. I'll take the newer Pete's Dragon. Alrighty. So, now let's talk about the new Pete's Dragon. However, this Pete's Dragon is more heartbreaking than the original. I will not spoil any scenes of the movie. I'm just saying that this version is more heartbreaking. So, this film is about Pete getting lost in the forest, and 6 years later, he is rescued and taken by a forest ranger, played by Bryce Howard, from Jurassic World fame, and another woodsman, played by Robert Redford. And I kind of enjoyed this version. However, it had some unexpected moments where it just made me go into tears. Like, why? Why would he do that? Why? That's how tear-jerking it is. But the visual effects are absolutely stunning. Like, wow. I was just immersed. This Elliot, it feels so lifelike that I must admit, it took guts to make him look this real. So, and this version's less musical than the original. And, however, there's still some songs, but it's not sang by the characters. And the boy who plays Pete, I think he was a real gymnast who was also an actor. I'm not kidding. It looks like he did his own stunts. He looks like he's kind of a hyper. It's like looks like he was in a young Olympist. He's like doing his own stunts. And now here's a Twilight visualization of how active his stunts were. And cut, Rainbow. You were an excellent gymnast. Why, thank you. Now, I actually saw the credits, and he did his own stunts. He could be a serious stunt man. And the story wasn't that bad. It was pretty good. But the amount of tearjerkers, the unexpected tearjerkers, made this movie kind of a low. I think you should stick to the classic, but I still recommend this for, on a scale of 1 to 10, this movie gets 9 out of 10. Well guys, hope you enjoyed this. And stay tuned for a review of 28 Pranks later. And I'll see you next time. So, you don't want this one? I already reviewed that one. Save that for later. Alrighty. Woo!